Kathy Fulmer wore a polka dot scarf. When RFK was shot, she shouted, "They shot him," quote, "they shot Kennedy." 2 days later, she went to the LA cops claiming to be the infamous polka dot dress girl. She wasn't. I will reveal later in the series who that actually was. It's actually quite shocking who it actually was. The polka dot pattern, in my opinion, ID'd fellow conspirators and was a hypnotic trigger of Sirhan. They knew who each other were. The polka dot dress girl was romantically controlling Sirhan at this point, in my opinion. Kathy Fulmer was some sort of a plant by the conspirators, or possibly the CIA. I think she was CIA or some sort of government informant. She was tied to the people that were involved in this plot. She died under mysterious scenarios. It was a supposed another suicide, like in all these assassination cases, or a lot of them. My research pretty much proves, or this is what I believe, that this actually aided in the cover-up. Her elimination by the conspirators, I think she was murdered, aided in the cover-up. She died right before pre-jury deliberations in the Sirhan case. So she was eliminated right before this thing was going to trial. I seriously doubt if it's a coincidence. Sirhan was a Rosicrucian. Who are the Rosicrucians? Well, they're a fraternal, global, intellectual organization, and maybe a lot more than that, depending on what you research or who you talk to. I believe the people who killed RFK probably infiltrated them, possibly the CIA or others. The government definitely infiltrated this group in this part of California at that time. A lady wrote RFK in November of '67 that they, meaning the Rosicrucians, wanted to kill the whole Kennedy family. He got nervous, he went to the FBI, and nothing was done about this. It's an interesting factoid. Keep all this in mind. It all adds up. Now I'm going to talk about CIA Dr. William J. Bryan and his connection directly to this case. He had a connection to the 1972 shooting of Governor George Wallace. Watch my video on that, and the JFK murders. The CIA's Artichoke program detailed a hypnotic scenario almost identical to the RFK murder scenario. Bryan confessed to hookers in the 70s that he had hypnotized Sirhan before the killing, then changed his stories. There was a lot of inconsistencies with his lies. Bryan could have wrote some of Sirhan's notebooks, in my view, with E. Howard Hunt. William J. Bryan and Reverend Jerry Owen were both tied to the Manson case. I believe the Manson family was probably infiltrated by the CIA and other parts of our government-like intelligence agencies. For more on that theory, read the Tom O'Neill book Chaos, which in my view is a great book on that theory. William J. Bryan and Owen were both tied to the shooting of Governor Wallace. Here's why. Right after the shooting, William J. Bryan got a call from Maryland, where Wallace was shot. Arthur Bremer's half-sister, Gail Aiken, was a friend of Jerry Owen. Gail Aiken had worked for Jerry Owen's brother. Gail Aiken left LA right after the Wallace shooting. It was rumored due to FBI harassment. It's also rumored right after RFK was killed, the broke Owen came into a ton of money. Jerry Owen could have been Sirhan's CIA babysitter. One example of this is in the JFK case when it comes to Oswald. There was a lot of CIA people he was connected to. One of the babysitters could have been the DeMorenschilds in that case, and many others when you look at the time who he was connected to within the CIA around the time of the JFK murder. In other words, they were being manipulated and controlled by these people. Oswald may have been handled by at least 100 CIA people. The RFK people around this time started figuring out Jim Garrison was onto a lot in his inquiry of JFK's death in New Orleans, according to the Tate book and many others. The RFK admitted he would reopen JFK's murder if he won. There were many odd people there that night. His people, meaning RFK, started figuring out that Garrison was onto a lot in the South. The Bolivar Watch people, long rumored to be a CIA front, some of them were there that night. Ace Security may have been infiltrated by the CIA that night. There were people in the lobby handing out stickers justifying the murder of JFK that night. They were later thrown out of there. I think this was a diversion by the plotters to get people's attention away from what was really going on in the hotel that night, and there are other examples of this that night. The fatal shot, according to the Tate book and others, and in my opinion too, I think it was a skull shot an inch to the left of the right ear from behind coming upward. Caesar is the culprit here. There were carbon particles in RFK's hair. The gun was less than 2 inches from behind, meaning Caesar had to fire and hit RFK at least once. I believe he probably hit RFK at least twice, and therefore you probably had at least 3 gunmen along with at least 1 spotter. Somewhere along the line this had to happen. The gun was less than 2 inches from behind. Keep that in mind. These are the logical deduction of the Caesar firings, in my opinion. He had to be one of the gunmen. Here ends this video. Thank you for your time. Please make a note that my first video next week is going to be on Charles Rogers and the RFK, JFK, and MLK murders and other things tied to the RFK murder. Thanks again. It's free to subscribe.